Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now today we're going to be revisiting the band Red. I've checked them out like 2 or 3 times before in the past and I've really enjoyed the music that I've heard. Now I think most of the stuff I've checked out has been off of much older albums, but from what I understand the track I'm checking out today is off a more recent album, so I don't know if the sound of the band is going to have changed too drastically from what I already know. But I'm going to be checking out a track called The Evening Hate. Now there's 2 versions of this video. There was the version I've got, which is about 4 or 5 minutes long I think, and then there's the extended cinematic version which is about 15 minutes long. Now I've gone for the shorter version because if I did the 15-minute video, this video would be like nearly 45 minutes probably, given how much I ramble and talk after the video's been done. So I'm looking at the shorter version of the video. I don't know whether that's going to have the full version of the song or if the song's going to have been cut down as well. But I will put links to both of the videos, the 4-minute and the extended version, below, so you can check those out if you want to. I have got some lyrics up here which were provided underneath the video, so they should hopefully be accurate. So yeah, being as I've covered the band a couple of times before, we'll just jump straight to the video and see what we have. So it's The Evening Hate by Red. Let's have a look. apparently that was it. That was a really good track. That I really like that, and excuse me. I like how from the very beginning there was the subtlest suggestion of strings and orchestration in the background, and it sort of became more prominent towards the end of the song. But I really like the way that's been sort of put into it. It sounds really good. So many changes of tempo and stuff within that song as well. Like it starts off relatively soft and relatively calm, but then it goes really heavy and really sort of almost doomy at one point. It's very good. And that video, well, was bloody hella dramatic. Is actually quite a powerful and intense video, and clearly talking about war. And I imagine the song is talking about something similar, like the feelings that somebody might have in that sort of situation. It says, the air feels heavier tonight, something's coming. The lights are restless in the sky, silence cutting. I lie awake, hopeless, insane, inside my grave I made while I... And then it goes into the chorus. Wait for the pain, inside the evening hate, inside the evening hate. So, outside of, you got those first two lines, the air feels heavy tonight, something's coming, lights are restless in the sky, silence cutting, so they know that something big is about to happen, there's this sort of tension in the air, because everybody knows that something big is going to happen, and they're all sort of tense and nervous because of it. And it goes, I lie awake, hopeless, insane, inside my grave I made while I... And then it goes into that wait for the pain part for the chorus. So, they know something's coming, and, they need rest, but they can't sleep because, there's too much on their mind about the upcoming conflict or what have you. And it says, I lie awake, hopeless, insane, inside my grave. And, like in the video, it showed them in the trenches. And for the trenches during the World War, a lot of people did die in those trenches, so essentially they were waiting inside their grave. So... and then it carries on. The fear is near, it starts to rise, cadence growing. Shadows spill across the line, darkness is flowing. Voices screaming, cold hands reaching, the earth shaking, my mind breaking. And then it goes into that chorus again, wait for the pain inside the evening hate. Inside the evening hate. So then again, fear is near, it starts to rise, so, that tension they could feel in the air, it's starting to get closer and starting to get more oppressive, so they know that whatever is coming very soon. And shadows spill across the line, darkness is flowing, so obviously it's getting later at night. And, there's more of this tension, because conflict at night can be quite difficult. And then it goes, voices screaming, cold hands reaching, the earth shaking, my mind is breaking. So then appears, all of a sudden, battle has broken out. There's the screaming of soldiers that are possibly dying, or they're shouting battle cries, what have you, cold hands reaching. This is possibly like people who have been shot, wounded, and what have you, or are in the process of dying, reaching out, for help. He says the earth shaking, possibly from explosions and whatnot, or just the mass trampling of feet from other opposing armies. And my mind breaking, could be referring to shell shock and what have you, because the pressures and the rigors of combat can really take a toll on your mind, and it can drive you mad. So. And after that chorus, wait for the pain inside the evening hate, it carries on. It falls like rain, the evening hate. It falls like rain, the evening hate. Hate, wait for the pain. Hate, wait for the pain. Like cinders, it rains. We fall, an empire in flames. We crawl, we're crawling out. And then it goes inside the evening hate. inside the evening hate, inside the evening hate, inside the evening hate, and then it repeats that last verse again. Like cinders it rains, we fall, an empire in flames, we crawl, we crawl. So, you know, it's quite an intense song, you know, I mean, it's essentially talking about, you know, the rigours of battle, how it feels to be in the middle of a situation like that, and the effect it can have on a person's mind. You know, so it's quite an intense song, and the video along with it, like I said, was pretty intense, and that was only the short version. You know, like I said, there's the extended version, extended cinematic version, should I say, which is about 15 minutes long, so, you know, I might have to go along and actually watch that version after doing this, because I'd be quite interested to see, you know, how they build on what that video showed, because, you know, there's quite a lot going on there. But it's pretty good track, you know. Like I said, I've checked them out 3 or 4 times before, and I've always enjoyed the tracks that I've heard. But that one, you know, that one was very, very good as well. So, yeah. Excuse me. I can't think of much else to say about that. You know, I did enjoy it. Good track. Good story going along with it, and I love the way they've worded it. But we'll leave that as it is. Now, if anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you could even message me through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel. There is an option on Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue, should you so desire. There are a couple of limitations that go along with that, to be fair to other people who suggest tracks, you know, so you don't constantly fill up the whole queue with your own songs and nobody else gets a say in what tracks they want. If you do suggest a track through regular means, such as Facebook comments, Instagram, and the like, do know it might take me a while to get around to your suggestions, since I get suggested so many tracks every single day that my list of suggestions grows faster than I can record the videos. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It just might take me a while to get around to it. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those involving people of the alternative culture. And it's something I believe in very, very strongly, something I think definitely needs a lot more attention. Or, you know, any kind of attention at all. Because, you know, every day all around the world, people from the alternative culture are getting violently attacked purely for the fact that they listen to alternative music or dress in alternative clothing. And it's something that gets widely ignored. Nothing gets said and nothing gets done. And it's getting out of control to the point, you know, people are getting hospitalised with, like, broken bones. People are getting hospitalised with, like, life-threatening injuries from where they've been attacked with knives and the like, just purely for the fact that they listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion. And it's unacceptable, because it never, ever gets spoken about. You know, nothing gets reported about it. The last time there was wide coverage of an incident like this happening was 12 to 13 years ago, where Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked by a group of 5 or 6 people who brutally beat them, kicked them, punched them, stamped on their heads so violently that they both ended up in a coma. And now Rob Maltby, he did thankfully survive. He was in a coma for just a little bit over a week, around about a week, I can't remember exactly how long, but he survived. Sophie Lancaster, on the other hand, she was in a coma for 13 days before she died. She succumbed to her injuries and died. This young woman, 20-year-old woman, was beaten to death. She was murdered just purely for the fact that she was wearing alternative clothing and listened to alternative music. You know, and this happened, like I said, about 13 years ago now. And that's the last time there was any widespread coverage of something like this happened. But I can guarantee, in fact, I know for a certainty, that in that time, in that 13 years, hundreds, if not thousands, of people from the alternative community have been attacked in a similar fashion. But we never hear a word about it, and that is unacceptable. You know, we shouldn't have to wait for someone to actually die before it gets spoken about. We shouldn't have to wait for someone to get beaten to death for their taste in music before this gets spoken about. You know, every day we hear of all these other hate crimes around the world, like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred. We hear these every single day. From the most violent and heinous of these crimes, like someone being murdered because of the colour of their skin. I mean, look at this situation that's appeared recently, that man of colour that was arrested, and, well, the police officer arresting him actually killed him because he was kneeling on his neck and suffocated him. We hear about that, and that's fair enough, And then we hear these really, really petty things, like where an entitled white woman is calling the police because some guy in a park asked her to put her dog on a leash. Yes, racism is bad, but is that really newsworthy? When there's people that are getting beaten to within an inch of their life just purely because of their taste in music. People are getting severely injured, and we're not hearing a goddamn thing about it. Surely that deserves to be told in the news. If we're hearing about such petty little things, surely this is, severe enough for something to be said, but it doesn't get spoken about, and that needs to change. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this sort of thing is happening. They want to bring more attention to the fact that people are getting severely injured, because they don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter die over the course of 13 days. They don't want to see what happened to their daughter happen again. It's something that should never have happened in the first place. No one should lose their life because they listen to different music. Just because we listen to different music, just because we dress differently, isn't an excuse to violently attack us. And it shouldn't be ignored. Something needs to be done. So if you'd like to find out more about Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, obviously don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, whether it be a small donation through their website or something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands from their web store, something as simple as that, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we get more people talking about this, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But we'll leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.